Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to cyBorg Gaming. We are here for the Russian Grand Prix here in Sochi. We are at the Olympic Park, and today is a big race for cyBorg Racing. There is currently a four-way battle for the drivers championship. We got Max Verstappen in P1, Lewis Hamilton in P2, myself in P3, but I am tied with Sergio Perez for that P3 spot. We have 6 races left in this season, and in this race we have some major upgrades for the aerodynamics and the power unit, so I am hoping that we can get into the podium at the very least for this race. Last race we were in Monza. If you guys haven't seen that, hit the link above me, watch that later or come back, watch this one, whatever order you want to watch it in. But we came in P6, so a big improvement from the previous races. I'm pretty much adjusted to the race wheel now, but still just a little worried on the consistency of my laps. But talking about Russia, it is one of my more preferred tracks in terms of driving. It is a bit of an easier track. There's not anything too crazy besides maybe sector 3, really slow turns in that sector. But if I'm going to seize any opportunity to get back in the fight, well, I still am in the fight, but in the top 2 at least of this drivers championship fight, this is the track to do it on. And we had a great start. We finished P1 in Q1, but the track evolution still ramping up. We're into Q2 now. Verstappen is going on to the mediums, which is pretty interesting. We're going to see if he can put up his fastest lap on the mediums, or maybe he'll only do one, and his lap will probably be fast enough to stay in the top 10, and then he'll start the race on the mediums. He's Max Verstappen, so he will probably get that. But going into our second hot lap into Q2, we improve by almost a second, and we finish P2 behind Sergio Perez. Max Verstappen does make it into Q2 on those mediums in P9, but the P9 doesn't matter. What matters is how you finish in Q3. That's going to determine how you start next race. And these upgrades are really showing that they're working. We are currently P2. We are putting up a great pace here in Russia. On this hot lap, we get a little bit of a slipstream off of Lando Norris. Compared to this first hot lap, we're currently 2 sectors up. My first sector, or the first sector, is probably my best sector as we purple it right there. And my worst sector, probably sector 3. I feel like that's everyone's worst section. I wish they kind of changed the layout of that area. I'm not a big fan of it whatsoever. Coming into the second DRS zone, we are 4/10 up. And if you guys remember from Russia last year, this is where we had the big crash with Max Verstappen. He hit me on the rear heading into the turn before the DRS zone. He DNF'd, Antonio Giovinazzi DNF'd. So Max Verstappen looking for revenge here in Russia as we catch up to Lando Norris into sector 3. Have to watch for that dirty air. We're still 8/10 up on our previous hot lap. Purple sector 1, purple sector 2. Into the final turns here at the Sochi Olympic Park, and let's see how we do here.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
And let's go. That is our first pole in this career mode, and we beat Verstappen by 5/100ths of a second. With that being said, guys, let's get into this race, and Crofty, take it away, man.
Welcome Welcome one and all to today's Grand Prix here in southern Russia. A beautiful location besides the Black Sea and a race that has historically been dominated by the Silver Arrows. Mercedes have won here 6 times since the first race in 2014. Can someone else muscle in on that record here today? It's full throttle for around 56% of the lap here at the Sochi Autodrome, a 3.6-mile run around the site of the 2014 Winter Olympics. 12 right turns and 6 left turns give us a total count of 18, with passing opportunities available into turns 1 and 13. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. The engineer lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hamilton, Charles Leclerc and Sainz, Ricciardo, Norris, Joe, and Yuki Tsunoda. Vettel, Stroll, George Russell and Raikkonen. Schwartzman, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Giovinazzi, Esteban Ocon and Nicholas Latifi. Mazepin, Fernando Alonso, Gasly and Mick Schumacher. It's almost time for the lights to go out, so let's head down to the track and get this Grand Prix underway.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going.
All right, it is time. We are on our first pole position for the race today. We got Verstappen. We beat him out by 0.5 of a second. We got 5 races left. There's an 8-point gap between myself, Verstappen, Sergio Perez, and Lewis Hamilton. So it is going to be coming down to the wire. Hopefully we can get a good start here. Looking at the tire strategy, we got 11 laps on the softs, and then we're going to box onto the mediums. Weather looks pretty good. It's going to be a little cloudy for the first little bit of the race, but does not look like there's going to be any rain, so thank God for that. But let's get right into this race, guys. So we are here on our first pole position start. We only have Max Verstappen behind us. No one is in front of us, and here we go to start this race. And Verstappen already gets the jump on us. That Red Bull power unit, no match for the CRM2. Perez also on our left into turn 2 here. Ooh, I had to be careful. I didn't want to smash Verstappen side pod. I'm not sure where Perez is. I might have cut him off. He probably dropped behind. He's 0.5 behind us. So I think I did cut him off there. Now I think that with that pole position though, we did have a good start, but we don't have the car to keep that place. I'm going to try my very best, but I'm assuming that Perez is going to catch up fairly quickly unless we put a monster race up today. So here we come on Verstappen once again. And Verstappen did not have a good outing here last time we were in Russia. We all remember that big crash. Literally down the straight here, he hit my rear right and he spun out. And with that DRS, we put up the fastest sector 2. And with that fastest lap, that is an extra point for us. So come on, we got to stay in DRS range here. So Leclerc has lost power. I am 0.7 of a second behind Verstappen. We got DRS, we got the slipstream. Let me use a little bit of that battery. We're not going to get him here again. We'll definitely get him on the next straight. Braking a little early. We put the fastest sector 2 up again. Ooh, and that dirty air. Gotta be easier on the throttle in this sector. Oh, that's what I mean. You don't want that happening. Alright, so we are 0.6 now on Verstappen. We're going to get him here. We just need a good entrance into this turn this time. There we go. Okay, we're going to get the battery.
Try to keep this momentum.
And we're going for it here. We're going to get him. We're going to get Verstappen. We're going to take the lead of this race here in the Russian Grand Prix on lap 8. Oh! And... oh, Verstappen locks up. He was defending me going into that turn. I couldn't really get an angle on him. And he keeps the lead. which that is horrible for my tires. He's got those medium tires, so his tires are going to last a little bit longer than mine. So our window is kind of running out here to pass him. And I have not been paying any attention to Sergio Perez at all during this race, but he has been behind us this whole time. And he's still in the fight for the championship. He is tied for points with me. Oh, did we drop out of DRS zone? Crap, we dropped out of DRS zone again. Oh, God, okay, we might have lost our window there to overtake him. So now we're just trying to keep up, and Sergio Perez is coming up to the right, and he overtakes me. He has the DRS. We're racing into turn 2. I ride over the sausage curb, but thank God, no damage there. With that risky move, he drops the 4/10 again. Oh, my God, Perez out of nowhere. We are back in DRS range on Verstappen. We got the slipstream. We're still not going to pass him. That Red Bull power unit is working wonders today. We run wide on turn 2. That drops us down to 8/10, 9/10, probably a second. Oh, we're getting so close. We're going in next lap, so Verstappen is going to stay out, and hopefully Christian Horner thinks that the hards are the best option, and that we'll be on the mediums. And we will probably be able to get a lot more of a gap on Verstappen and see if we can go for the undercut maybe. I don't know when he's pitting, so... But Verstappen, off to the races. He will probably pit within the next 2 to 3 laps, I would assume. But let's get a good pit stop here. 1.9 seconds, let's go! That is a fast pit stop.
Look after these tires now.
Now the question is, who are we coming out with? So I see, I think that, is that Norris or is that Schwartzman? Schwartzman is in P2 now. Everyone went to pit actually. So Schwartzman is in P2. I believe he's on mediums. Yeah, he is. So he's going to pit later. Oh, Perez went to box. He boxed early. He started on the softs and now he's in P4 behind me. So that's where he went. Maybe he suffered some wing damage or something along those lines, and he had to pit early. And Verstappen goes to the pit. No, he goes onto the soft tires. Is he out of the pit lane is the question. We put up the fastest lap, but Verstappen is definitely taking that fastest lap. Oh, God, it's going to be a race to the finish. Where is he? Did we get out in front of him? Yes, we got out in front of him. I think Perez is also in front of him. And with Perez fighting for that driver's championship spot, I highly doubt he's going to be letting Verstappen pass him. So hopefully for a lap or two,
Caution.
hopefully for a lap or two, Perez can hold Verstappen back as there's Lando Norris parked up on the side of the road. But I'm hoping Perez will hold up Verstappen long enough for me to get a solid gap on them. And then by that time, even with those soft tires, it'll be too late for Verstappen to catch up. Alright, so we got 2 laps left in this race. I'm still in P1. Verstappen, when I came out, I believe he was about 4, close to 5 seconds behind me after fighting with Perez. And then he went on a freaking rampage, and I started getting really scared because I'm on these medium tires. He's on these fresh, soft tires. I'm like, God dang it, like, he is going to catch up. But then his tires started to fall off, and we've been able to hold him at 2.5. So it looks like we're on pace to win this race at the moment. Yeah, they're at 27%. Those soft tires are probably pretty much done at this point of the race. But here we go, on to the final lap. And with this race win, I believe we will be in P2 now for the Drivers' Championship. But Verstappen has an 8-point gap. I'm going to get 25 with the fastest lap, so 26. Or would it be 27? I forgot. And then Verstappen's going to get 18? Oh, no, we might actually pass him here. That fastest lap is definitely going to help us as well. And then after this race, we got 4 more races. And it is nice to be back on top. It has been a while since cyBorg Racing has won a Grand Prix. but we are back and better than ever. Verstappen closes the gap to 1.5 seconds, but it's too late. Attaboy, Jeff. Let's go. So Schwartzman gets into the points again with a P10 finish, finishing behind Sebastian Vettel, who Aston Martin, they've been developing their car quite a bit this season. I know we were with them a few races ago. Red Bull finished 2-3. I'm pretty sure they got the constructors title in the bag at this point. As you can see there, they got an 80-point gap in front of Mercedes and over 100 points on cyBorg Racing. I believe together Red Bull, Verstappen, and Perez, they have 6 combined wins this season. Mercedes is in second place without winning a single race, which is honestly amazing. That's like a lot of consistency. But if you look at the drivers' standings, Verstappen and I are tied for points, 146 apiece. And then Hamilton and Perez are also tied at 135. And then look at Schwartzman, cute little Schwartzman at the bottom. He gets a P10. Back-to-back point finishes for Schwartzman. I am contemplating for not Singapore, because Singapore is a pretty hard track to overtake, very skinny street circuit. So when we go to Japan, I think I'm gonna replace all the components so that for the last 3 races we have basically a fresh car, and then we'll suffer some damage in Japan, but hopefully we will be able to overtake a lot of the drivers with those fresh components and get ahead. And get a decent finish to keep us in the fight. And going into the end of this race, catastrophe strikes at the cyBorg Racing headquarters. We have some really bad weather, and they basically want us to replace all the key machinery for 100k or go for a cheaper solution, which will cost us 1,000 resource points. It's definitely better to go with the safe solution. We have the money saved up anyways, and with upgrades and things coming in for the end of this season and going into the next season, if we get there, we're gonna want all that machinery ready to go. So let's go with the safe option here. All right, guys, so that's gonna be the end of the video. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. Leave the channel, hit the like button. If you really liked it, subscribe, hit the notification bell. We got Singapore next week. We're looking for redemption in Singapore. If you didn't watch the Singapore video from last season, hit the link above me or hit the link to the side there. Pretty funny video, honestly, but that's going to be it for this one, and I will see you guys next week. All right, peace out, guys.